to talk now about really what it is that helps us to build and protect those connections. This is a toolkit right here that's absolutely brilliant. I think that each and every time that I would sit in that room with that couple and say, what is your goal? And they would, try to find a way to get to a loving, intimate connection is our goal. Once they would get there, immediately we then go to this toolbox. This is what we're going to hand out. We're going to be talking to them about how will you ever build these connections that you so desire. What is that? What's keeping you from doing it? And what's keeping them from doing it is that there's no recognition or there's no awareness that we actually experience, I love you very much, because I do love you very much. We just experience it so different. The same way I hear it is not the same way you hear it. But I want to communicate it the way I hear it. Because, we do things, to get. So I'll do this thing for you. Okay, now do that thing for me. Go ahead. That thing I'm doing for you, I love it. I love what I do for you. It should, it should give you a clue that I've done this so much for you. I just keep doing it. It seems like I would get it back. It seems fair. It seems fair that I would get some of that back. You obviously have more than you need. Doesn't seem to move you hardly at all. Give some of it back. Go ahead. No, nothing comes back. What is the deal? You don't love me. You don't love me. I give you all this love. You give me none of that back. It's clear to me that you don't care. And it's not clear, because when you ask them, do you love them? They go, yeah. Well, why don't they feel loved? That's a great question. That's a great question why they don't feel loved. I love them so much. I don't love anybody as much as I love them. And all she ever says is, I don't love her. How could this be? Well, here's how this is happening. And this is why the love languages are so key, is that they are like a go in the lock, just that click. Whoa, how did this work? What? The people that have never tried this and try it, they're just so marveled at the response. Like, look at you. You lit up like a flower. What happened? Where have you? I haven't seen you since we were trying so hard not to hurt each other's feelings. Right. And so this is the implementation of I'm going to chase fear away with determination, with the goal of connection. So I'm going to have to learn how to speak a new language. I'm going to have to learn some things that don't come natural, because what comes natural is me. I'm what comes natural. Doing what I would like, that's what comes natural. We tend to speak our native language. It's one of the great ways to learn, how you chase fear away in relationships, in business relationships, in parenting situations, in friendships, in long-term covenant relationships with your family. It all of a sudden we realize, wow, I have a different relationship with my brother who's now an adult because I figured out how they hear that I love them. Because for our whole family life together, we've always had this anxiety and this disconnect because he didn't really believe that I loved him. Which is not true. I really do love him. I really always have. It's just over and over and over. I mean, testimony after testimony about how relationships are changed because I learned how to serve. I learned how to give. I learned how to provide you with what it is that chases fear away from us. And so I can't emphasize this starting point enough in building and strengthening your connections with other people, especially new relationships. This is a great accelerator of new relationships is figuring out really what feels like I care about you. And it reduces the fear. It changes the dynamic of our interactions, because a lot of people are on the treadmill of, let me see if I can get you to care about me. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm on the treadmill going, let me see if I can get them to care about me. Let me see if I can get them to send me a message the way that I so want it. And and we'll talk about communication coming up here before too long, but it's really best to know what you need. It's really best to know that, you know what, I need touch and affirmation, and that chases fear away from me. I can hear much better. I can be much better if we just have that flowing. What do you need from me? What do you need? You need acts of service and quality time. All right. So you need some help, and you want my full attention. All right. Order up. Here we go. Because Sherry and I are, worlds apart in how this works for us. And for whatever reason, her fantasy is me walking around the house with a ladder and a tool belt, and I'm fixing stuff all over the house while I listen about her day. Like she's telling me her day, and I'm just like, oh my God, you're getting really, no. And what did you say? Oh, you really? And how did she take that? Oh my gosh, okay. Well, could you hand me that? Thank you. And well, is there anything else? Yeah, that light. Okay, light bulb. Yeah, well, brother, that's amazing. Okay, well, geez, what? Oh yeah, well, I know how much you love that. Yeah, okay, that's amazing. Oh really? Oh gosh, wow. All right. And she's like, hunk of burning love. And man loves me so much. I just can't believe how much he loves me. I feel so loved right now. And my idea of, experiencing love is, rolling like thunder under the covers while she tells me I'm amazing, Like, okay, we couldn't be more different if we tried. And that's exactly what we have to do, is we have to try. We have to think about it. We have to determine, I'm going to protect my connection with you. That's what I'm going to do. So I am thinking of ways, I think about it a lot. Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? If there's any tension, if there's any hint of a disconnect between us, I am thinking about, how do I serve her and engage with her? What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? Where are we going to do this? How, that's I begin to go to, it's my job to do my half. And my half understands a few things about what helps her half. So I'll be finding ways to do that, to lower her anxiety and to bring out the best Sherry that she's got. All right? So this is really the tool of love languages, I think, that serves us really, really well, and it doesn't really cost much at all. It's just pouring into your goal of connection.